it's your first time here, I want to welcome you to my channel. If it's your other second time here, your third time here, I want to say what it is. What's up? I appreciate you for keeping in touch. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I really don't know why I'm like this, but this is how I am. So go ahead, hit subscribe, and then we're gonna get right into a couple books you should read to be woke AF. Woke AF. You gonna be woke after this. You gonna know. Okay. So thank you. So thank you for joining me. This is Book Talk with Brianca Jay, and these are the couple books I think you should read if you want to be woke. Period. Poo. Number one, because we're getting right into things here. Number one, I think that everybody should read Souls of Black Folk by w.e.b. Du Bois. Read that. Souls of Black Folk is important. Let me start over. Okay, so one thing to understand about African American culture, or being woke is understanding that most of our history is hidden in our fictional books. So a lot of the things that we know about being black, about being a slave, about being the black experience, the true black experience does not live in American textbooks. It don't. It just don't. I think Texas actually got into it in 2016 because they changed the slavery to say workers. And I get it, right? Like, American history holds a very painful past for black people especially. And it's shameful for white people especially. And so pain and shame and what you get is a bunch of lies, unfortunately. And so when it comes down to finding our stories and digging through our stories, you're going to find out that a lot of fiction is actually true. So you may have read Our Nig, and Our Nig is actually written as a fiction. It's actually labeled a fiction, and it was actually coined as a Southern Gothic once it was originally published. But reality was her actual account of her slavery, was what actually happened to her while she tried to survive freaking slavery. And then she got up and wrote a book, and that's just magical right there. So sometimes I be proud, y'all. Be proud of what we did. That's why you gotta read the books, because that's how you're gonna find out our history and how we truly felt about the things that were happening to us when it was happening. So the first book I'm gonna ask you to go ahead and read is Frederick Douglass, and not his autobiography, because I'm probably sure you already read that. So I'm gonna put you on something different. I'm gonna put you on this essay. It's actually free. You ain't gotta buy this. But it's called Why is the Negro Lynched? And it explains that mob mentality that was going on where they was lynching everybody. And it also gives a lot of understanding to some of the things that we see and that we find. People have this way of getting irritated when they see interracial dating, and they don't know how to articulate what they're feeling. And so this book kind of articulates those historical reasons why people feel that way, because it really is like a generational feeling people have passed down, and it comes from this issue right here in American history. So if you want to know pretty much a lot of why we have these issues between interracial dating, why we have these issues with lynching, why we have this very discomfort with white women sometimes, it comes down to it. Frederick Douglass actually does a great job explaining some of those classic tropes that we see on a regular basis. Okay, another book you should read to be woke AF is Souls of Black Folk by W.e.b. Du Bois. I don't know why I wanted to rap that. I'm sorry again. But Souls of Black Folk by W.e.b. Du Bois is a cornerstone of African American literature, and it also made its way into sociology because not only did he publish essays on race, essays on like being a black man in America, he talked from his personal experience. He also coined the very real idea of double consciousness, which is the idea that black people have to walk around with this level of double vision at all times. One cannot simply be black. One also must consider how he's perceived by others at all times. And so it talks about this double consciousness, and it became a social like a social theory, and it talks about the way in which we interact in society. Code switching comes from this theory. The white girl voice comes from this theory. A lot of things of that nature come from right here, and so that's why you got to go ahead and check out some of those essays so you can articulate some of the feelings you get and some of the ideas you have and some of this discomfort that kind of sits in our chest that we can't really explain. W.e.b. Du Bois does a really good job of this. Our literature does a good job of explaining some of these tropes and these ideas and these theories that we can somehow sometimes feel and can see the consequence or the symptoms of, but we don't understand their root. So it brings us back to the root of some of the ideologies that we still kind of carry over through our culture today. Check it out. Okay, so another book I think you guys should definitely be reading if you woke AF. You should definitely check out Ralph Ellison's Invisible Man. I know I talk about it all the time, but that's because it's so important to our understanding of our culture. It really is. It's about the black male experience from Reconstruction. From Reconstruction all the way up to the Civil Rights Movement. And man, does he go through some stuff. He migrates from the South to the North, experiences a lot of microaggressions actually for the book. The age it was written in, these weren't really aggressive issues, but yet he talks about and articulates some of the problems that we even have right now. And when you read it, it's almost like, well, damn, what's changed? What's changed? Not a damn thing. Nothing. Period. Pooh. I'm sorry. I gotta stop being so goddamn weird. But so, of course, you need a contemporary look at America today. You can't be woke AF if you don't know what just happened last month or what are our particular views on it. One guy who's doing a very good job of articulating a lot of the issues and the inner workings of our feelings right now, or collective cultural feelings right now, is Ta-Nehisi Coates. And check out Between the World and Me. It's positioned as an anecdotal letter to his son, and he talks about the importance of us moving away from this by any means necessary attitude, but the idea of protecting our bodies and understanding that one thing that we have and that we have to protect is our ability to be here and to exist, because that is that's important. I don't know. Check it out. It talks about some of the feelings between a lot of police brutality we're feeling right now, a lot of the issues with the Black Lives Matter movement, and a lot of the more contemporary issues that's coming up in culture today. Read about it, know about it, live about it. Another book I think you guys should check out to understand some of those classic ideas about African Americans. It has to be a female author book, and I'm going to actually suggest that you guys read Their Eyes Are Watching God by Joy Neal Hurston, because she talks about the black woman's experience. Honestly, you know what's really good? It's a black woman who doesn't have a child, so maybe that's why I like Janie so much, because I'm a black woman without a child, and she's a grown woman. And anyway, she goes through these different lifestyles with different men as she traverses into getting this greater love, and in the end she finds this fullness within living her life and loving these people, and understanding that those loves matter, even if it's not one person. It still matters and still counts. And she kind of gives a voice to that ability to be free, and everybody's watching her the whole time, gossiping about her, but she just kind of like, I'm free though. And so I think that was just really awesome way to remind us how freedom is something that you also have to want for yourself, and you have to kind of free yourself and perceptions be damned. So I think that you should check out Their Eyes Are Watching God, especially if you're like a female. Like, check that out, girl, because fuck this shit. Another book I think you should read if you woke AF, I'm actually going to tell you to read James Baldwin. I'm going to tell you to read The Fire next time. He deals a lot with his issues with religion and some of the things he sees interesting about religion, and he talks about his relationship with his father. And it's a very poignant work. It's actually a nonfiction, but it's so good. It's so rich. And he actually got very popular again recently when that movie came out, I'm Not Your Negro. But you should really check out some of his nonfiction work and even some of his short stories as well. He really brings a lot of voice to our thoughts and feelings and our connection to spirituality. Like that connection with religion and Christianity and where the lines are, where they cross. And he kind of talks about this in a way that's so interesting and so eloquent. And I definitely think... Whoa! Hey, it's me, Brianca Jay, and I just want to thank you for tuning in. I want to ask you right now to show me a lot of love, a lot of support, and go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you didn't know, now you know. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and when you subscribe, you help me get to my goal. That's all I'm saying. Love you so much.